dust. The pride and joy of the man of the house is the Weather Control Center, a center that puts you in charge of the electric heating and air conditioning and the electronic air filtering of the entire house. If you like, the temperature of each room in the total electric home can be set individually. And for the amateur weatherman, the control center reports outside wind velocity and direction, outside temperature and humidity, and barometric pressure. In the winter, the press of a button de-ices the front walk and driveway. In summer, an automatic control starts the lawn sprinklers when the ground gets thirsty.
If you happen to see this trim little buggy zoom up and quickly swing into a tight parking spot, you'll be looking at a remarkable new car, the Davis three-wheeler. With four seated comfortably, it takes off. Streamlined as a plane is this unique creation with designer Gary Davis at the wheel. Built in Southern California, it logically incorporates several aircraft principles, such as adaptation of the tricycle landing gear system. A switch on the dashboard operates built-in hydraulic jacks and makes tire changing an exhilarating experience. The single front wheel explains the car's parking dexterity and keeps it on an even keel in the event of a blowout, even at a top speed of 115 miles an hour. There are no fenders. Wrap-around steel bumpers protect removable body panels. This little chariot can really run you around in circles. What's the trouble, Gary? Uh-oh, a modern Frankenstein. And here's another streamlined marvel on wheels. It only needs a pair of wings to be at home in the sky. Formidable indeed is its nose. With riveted aluminum fuselage, entry hatch, and rugged empennage, it's wasting time on the ground. But being earthbound, the monster is trundled out onto the highway to frighten other motorists. If you're looking for a 1960 model, this may well be it. Somewhat less spectacular is this sporty new creation of Gordon Burig of Pennsylvania, designer of the famous Cord. Front fenders of laminated fiberglass turn with the wheels made of light magnesium. Body and removable top are of aluminum and plastic. In the cockpit, or rather the driver's compartment, Mr. Burig operates the controls, closely resembling those of a plane. Thus, aircraft methods are becoming increasingly popular in automotive science.
(1999 AD). More than a generation away, and yet dreams travel faster than light. And even now, scientists and planners are shaping the lives of our children who will live in the 21st century. How will they live? Perhaps in a honeycombed structure like this, the oldest, strongest natural shape known. Hexagon modules that grow with a family's size and interests. Michael Shaw, 45, husband, father, is an astrophysicist. Several days each week, he commutes to a distant laboratory where he's engaged in the Mars One project, the colonization of the first planet. His minor in the some 10 years he attended a Midwestern university was botany. It is one of his many continuing hobbies. He is engrossed on this sunny morning in the study of the cellular structure of a new exotic fruit tree. Hopefully, his experiments will produce a giant peach with a thick protective skin much like that of a tangerine. This is one of the many 21st century devices or appliances that are part of the everyday life of the Shaw family. This workbench with its electronic screen enables Michael to call up photographic sections of the two parent fruit trees from which he began his experiments 3 years ago. At that time, he stored the 2 photographic images in the central home computer, which is secretary, librarian, banker, teacher, medical technician, bridge partner, and all-around servant in this house of tomorrow. All pertinent information about this family, its records, its tastes and reference material, is stored in these memory banks, available instantly to every member of the family. Master James Shaw, 8 years old, student, attends formal school 2 mornings a week. Much of his education, however, is carried on in a kind of education center within the home.
A flip of the wrist brings a broiler into view. Out of hiding comes an array of beautiful chops. Broiling meat is no trouble at all with this practical arrangement. Meanwhile, the tomatoes are going full steam ahead. So, with everything under control, there's plenty of time to answer the phone. But naturally, this isn't just an ordinary phone. Look, no hands. No, never an idle moment all day long. Sealed inside this plastic bag is margarine that has stood at room temperature until soft. In it also is the capsule of vegetable coloring, which is easily broken, releasing the substance. Now, without missing a single detail about Susan Jones' new boyfriend, she kneads the margarine until it's completely and evenly colored, with no mixing bowls or gadgets required. Now to shape it again. There, the job's in the bag. Next, a quick foray into the refrigerator. And amazingly enough, not the slightest trouble extracting an ice tray, for this is a particular kind of ice tray. This Buck Rogers-like gun is fed with ice ammunition, which drops out of individual plastic cups by merely pressing the dimpled backs. Bullseye, on the target for tonight. Plenty of crushed ice for fruit and cocktails, as well as your ice bag for the morning after. With this remarkable combination, loading and shooting ice for fruit appetizers becomes an indoor sport.
Sun, surf and sand. Ever imagined what it would be like to work for 1 day and play for 6? Well, the golden age of computer automation is just around the corner. Scientific experts and business leaders are working hand in hand to give us more spare time and make machines do all the work. These machines are almost human. Just look at those nimble fingers. And now scientists have invented the electric brain, which they promise will bring a new way of life for all. Now machines can think, there's no end to the things they'll do for us. And without pay, too. There'll be no need for the worker in the factory of the future. A new age is coming, which brings with it the promise of a free and prosperous future. And after all, wasn't life meant to be easy?
In the US today have been asked to forecast what Eve will look like in AD 2000. One idea is a dress that can be adapted for morning, afternoon or evening. It's the sleeves what does it. Apparently in AD 2000 we shall be having a hair-raising time. Yet another designer goes so far as to believe that skirts will disappear entirely. Shoes will have cantilever heels and an electric belt will adapt the body to climatic changes. The lightly clad woman of tomorrow, ooh, swish, will move in an atmosphere that's scientifically kept at the right temperature. The future bride in a wedding dress of glass. What the groom will wear, apart from a worried look, isn't mentioned. A dress of aluminium, with a sash to change it for afternoon or evening, and an electric headlight to help her to find an honest man. As for him, if he matters at all, he'll be fitted with a telephone, a radio, and containers for coins, keys, and candy for cuties.